Alright, so I'm going to show you some more things you can do in Photoshop with your images. Now I showed you a few things in the last assignment that you can use. As far as effects go, you can definitely use those, and then you can also use these next few things I'm going to show you. So the first thing I'm going to show you is a color overlay. So I just grabbed a picture and it's a little dark, so we're going to lighten it up a little bit. So we're going to do image. We're just going to use the auto tone, auto contrast, and auto color. And that helped it some, but I want to brighten it up just a little bit more. So I'm going to go to adjustments and then go to brightness and contrast. And we're going to make it just a little bit brighter. Throw a little contrast away from it. And we can use the preview to see where we were versus where we are. So it's a little bit brighter now, so that works a lot better. Now I'm going to add a gradient overlay to it. Just add some color in it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a layer mask. Oh, I'm sorry, create a new layer. I just want to do this on a separate layer all by its own. So create a new layer. I'm going to click on my gradient tool, and this here will pop up. And if I click on this little button here, I have all sorts of different colors I can use. Let's do this one. So make sure we're not on our picture layer, but on our extra layer, and I'm going to click and drag and draw a gradient. Now you'll notice that it covered the picture entirely. That's okay, that's supposed to happen. I'm going to play around with this gradient slider. So if I drag it just a little bit, I get a nice sharp line. But if I drag it full way across, I get a nice fade from one color to the next. And I can go different ways if I want to. So let's start here and go. Okay, I like that. So we'll have the gradient like this, and then right up here, still on this layer 1, I'm going to select multiply. And what that does allows me to see the image underneath. I can also do color burn. I could do linear burn, select these different that's looking pretty good. You have these different options, and they all do something different. So let's try a different gradient this time. Do some a little more colorful. Just go straight across, and you can see it'll change it to whatever it is you want to do. I'm gonna leave that one like that. So that's putting an overlay over it. Now let's pick another picture here. Let's do this one. And so I grabbed two different pictures. I'm gonna have one picture fade into the other. So this time what I want is a layer mask, and I'm going to start with this one. And give it a layer mask. I'm going to choose this gradient up here, and I'm going to click and drag. Let's do this one. That is not what I wanted either. There we go. So that'll allow us to go from white to another color, to our image. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to take my other image here, and I am going to copy it and paste it into, let's see, or I'm going to do edit copy, go to our next picture here and do an edit paste. I'm just going to paste that right on top there. And I'm going to make this image a little bit bigger because I want it to stretch all the way across. And the easiest way to do that is to go to edit and then free transform. And what that'll do, that'll allow you to turn the picture, that'll allow you to make it bigger. I'm going to turn this, and since this is a vertical picture on a horizontal background. There we go. Okay. I'm going to hit return to get out of that mode. So in order for this to work, let's get layers back out here. And I've got my image, I've got my layer mask. I want to make sure I choose the gradient that goes from black to white. Right here, this one specifically. It may be here on the first square, but it's usually on the third square. And what I want to do is just click and drag. And you can see it goes from image to clear or transparent, same thing. So if you drag a little, it does a little. If you drag a lot, it does a lot. So I want to do that for this one here. Let's turn it back on. Let's give it a layer mask. And let's do that. So we can begin to see the image underneath, which is what we want. But we want to get the right amount so we can see both images on one on top of the other. So something like this. So there are two additional things you can do with your images in Photoshop. So you're gonna take the images that you pick. You should have definitely 2 or 3 images. This one here calls for one, but I add in some images along the side. So if I have space, I add an image here, one up here too, and I'll begin to put those in. The next video I'll show you how to add images to InDesign, and you can adjust the size of the frame and everything like that.